Hello and welcome back to another episode of Math with Son. Today we are going to be solving exponential equations where the exponent is only on one side. So this is just 3 to the x power is equal to 12. Now the answer is not 4 at all because 3 squared is equal to 9 and 3 to the third power is equal to 27. This is going to be somewhere in between 27 and 9 because 3 squared is equal to 9. And 3 to the third is equal to 27. It's going to be somewhere in between those two numbers. Okay? Now, we're not going to be guessing and checking. That would take way too long. What we can do is recognize that there are buttons in our calculator that can enable us to solve that. And in most cases, I would say use a log base 3 over here, and then you would be doing a log base 3 over here as well. The log base 3 of 3 will cancel out, leaving you with x is equal to whatever the log base 3 of 12 is. All right? Now from here, some of your calculators are able to type in log base 3 of 12. I will show you how to do it in my calculator, but a lot of your calculators cannot. So there are two options. If you have a good calculator, you can do log base 3 of 12. If you have a okay calculator, or in fact most calculators, what you're going to have to do is log 12 divided by log 3. That is known as the change of base formula. And then you can get your answer. So we're going to do the first one, log 12 divided by log 3. Log 12, close parentheses, divided by log 3. And we get 2.26, which is what I said. It's going to be somewhere in between the 2 and the 3. I think I said it's going to be somewhere in between 9 and 27 by mistake. It's going to be in between the 2 and the 3. 2.26. That is our answer. 2.261. Technically 1/8. I just like writing 3 decimals and calling it a day. Now, in the graphing calculators, if you want to figure out what log 3 of 12 is, you can do the log 12 divided by log 3. You can also hit the math button and go all the way down to where you hit a log base. And then you can actually type in the 3 and the 12, and you get the exact same answer. I think that sometimes takes a little bit more time rather than just doing log 12 divided by log 3. Okay? We got 2 more examples. They're not going to get any harder. We got 5 to the x is equal to, plus 7 is equal to 20. If you have a problem like this or anything where the exponent term is not by itself, you need to move the 7 over first. And then it becomes pretty much identical to what we just had, except it's a 5. Well, if it's a 5, no big deal. Instead of logging whatever you had before, you just log 5 both sides. And the log 5 of 5 cancels out, leaving you with x is equal to whatever log 5 of 13 is. So you can type log 5 of 13 in your calculator, or log 13 divided by log 5, depending on how fancy your calculator is. And I'm going to do that over here. Log 13 divided by log 5 is equal to 1.59, 1.593. 1.593, 1.593, 1.593 for both. They're the same thing because they're the same thing. One last one. We got 2 to the x plus 5 is equal to 18. And we're going to do the same exact thing here because the 2 is already by itself. I do not need to subtract the 5 here, but I do need to log base 2 both sides and log base 2 both sides to give me x plus 5 is equal to log base 2 of 18. Now from here, I would do log 18 divided by log 2. Let's write that down so we have it. X plus 5 is equal to log 18 divided by log of 2. Do make sure you close the parentheses on the calculator. So log 18 divided by log of 2 is equal to 4.16999. Here is where you really need to start relying on your calculator because these are important decimal places. Okay, one tiny difference in the decimal place messes up your answer significantly. So 4.1699, I would store that information in my calculator. I wrote it down, but I'm storing it in my calculator. I need to subtract 5 from this to get my final answer. So when I subtract 5 on paper, I am going to subtract 5 in my calculator by literally hitting -5, and it stores it, and it does the answer for me. So it says answer -5, negative 0.83. You want to keep your answer stored in your calculator as much as possible to make your life easier. Negative 0.83, and we have our final answer. You need to be careful on some of these problems and not be intimidated on some of these problems. Bonus example, let's say I just had something like 3 to the x is equal to negative 10. If I tried doing this problem very quickly in my calculator, it would tell me no solution. And that is because you cannot take the log of a negative number. X cannot equal log base 3 of negative 10. It is impossible because 3 raised to any power is going to be positive, not negative. So if you tried typing it in your calculator, you would not get an answer. Log of negative 10 divided by log of 3 does not work. No real answers. It even tells me no real answers. So if that happens to you, odds are either you made a mistake or you need to be careful and make sure that it's not a negative number. Maybe you hit it by mistake, but in some cases, there can be no solutions on these. In this case, that would be the case as well, because you can't take the log of a negative number or 0. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Until next time, stay positive, everybody, and I will see y'all later. Bye.